Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Wes's Side Story. Today, we're going to learn how to sew with Wes. So, check it out. I got a pillow I need to sew, and so your guys going to come along for the ride and maybe teach you something. All right, so here we go. We got my son Xander's pillow. It has seen better days, apparently. And we have a sewing kit over here that we can check out. All right, so we got the kit open here. And so for a hole like this, start with my stick pins and close the hole up. So let me show you how that works. All right, can you even tell where the hole is? Yeah, neither can I. I don't even know where to sew. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so here we go. We got all our push pins put in. So you want to first close the hole with your push pins. And so now I thread that through my needle. Can it still see the wire? Mm-hmm. And then I thread my thread through it.
Thread in the needle.
Like that. And then I pull my thread through with my needle threader. Okay, so I want to pull maybe 1.5 to 2 feet of cord right here. Okay, so now we're going to cut the thread. So at the bottom, so we got it's a double thread, right? You see that there's 2 pieces, and it's the needle is in the halfway mark of how long our thread is. And we're gonna take the end of it. Yep. We're gonna take the end of it and we're gonna tie it in several knots. And if you kind of just rotate it a little bit or kind of bunch the thread up, sometimes you'll get to where it'll be like a big bulky thing at the end of your string, and that's what you want to start with. Sometimes it takes several little knots, but you just keep going until you get it just right. Almost got it that time. Let's see. All right, there we go. There's a big knot in that. All right, so here's our knot that we made, and we got about 2 foot of yarn or string, right? So now we find our where is it? Ow, there it is. It must be right there. Okay, so we find our hole, and you want to find the inside. So I'm gonna start actually on this edge right here. Okay, so we're gonna start on the hole. And let's see if you can find the edge of your hole. So right here's the edge of my hole on my pillow. So I'm gonna run this on the inside of the fabric that I'm sewing. The reason why I'm doing that is because it's gonna hide that knot that we made. And this right here, we can just push down in there. All right, so it's gonna hold that. Well, hide it if we can get it set right. All right, so now that's disappeared. So from here, we take our needle and we make sure that we're running through both sides and try to get, like I got a white piece here that I really want to be in the seam. So we'll try to do that while I'm doing this. So we run through both sides of the material, and then we run through our string so it makes a knot. Here, just film that part. So that made a knot, and this is called a lock stitch. It's my favorite stitch because it locks it, and even if the string breaks, normally it'll hold for a little bit. So the needle under the thread, and we're going to do a lock. And we're going to do that all the way until this split. Ready? Okay, so actually, since I have so much thread, I'm going to go all the way across. And then I'm going to make another thread to do this area. So again, we're going in one side. Hopefully we can see that with the needle. Through the other side, let's kind of tuck this in a little bit. Through the other side. Yeah.
Why is there still a blue needle right there?
Because you pull all those blue needles out after you're done sewing the piece back together.
Ah.
So, okay. So, let's see. We're still sewing, and we're going through our loop that the sew needle is making, and that's a lock stitch. And since, like I said, since I had enough material, I'm just going, or enough thread, I'm going all the way to the end of this. And I'm doing like 1/4 inch at a time. This is just a child's pillow. You might want to sew it a little closer together if it's actually going to be worn or have, you know, have to support things or something like that. But this is just a quick sew up with a lock stitch. So let's see, I'm going to pull the end and see if we're at the end. I think we're at the end, but let's do one more. And then I'm going to show you how I tie these off. So, okay, right here I got where it's going to tie, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to go through it the other way again. And that'll kind of lock it a little bit. And now I want to look in here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm going to find the same piece of wire or the same piece of thread. And I'm going to make another knot. And I'm going to keep doing that maybe like 4 or 5 times. And that's how I end it. Now again, I'm not perfect at sewing. I learned this in home ec in high school when I was like 17 years old. So this will at least get you by. It's not perfect. And there you go. You got this whole side sewed. Like as I pull apart it, I can't pull it apart. So there we go. We cut this off and we can reload our needle to finish this part. Okay, so I got my needle loaded again, and I'm going to find the end. So right here, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a hole. And this is where I'm going to start. I'm going to put it on the inside again to hide my end of my thread. I'm going to cram that down in there. All right, well, cram it down in there. All right, and then we're gonna start both sides, go through both sides by pinching them together a little bit. Oh, and this stringy stuff is catching me. There we go. Through the loop that I make, lock stitch it. All right, and we're gonna do that all the way to the end, or the middle where this hole ends on this side. And watch your other little needles in there. They will try to poke you. It was a little too big, so I'm going to go back and do another one. So anywhere, about 1/4 inch is what I like to do for my lock stitch. If you get a little further than that, then sometimes it causes problems or there's still a hole. All right, and your hole will sometimes tend to disappear on you, so you just got to keep track of it, especially with material like this. Right, and I'm just gonna end this one the same way. Once I get all the way to the end, I'm just gonna make a bunch of knots. All right, and there we go. Gotta pull these out. But there you go, man. No more hole. You can barely even tell where it was. Wow. Please, please make sure you take all these little needles out. Look at that. Especially out of stuff like this. Make sure you get them all. All right, hats off to my little cameraman. All right, and that is all for Wes's Side Story today. I hope you guys learned something. God bless everybody, and I pray that your new year is going well.